Hello, this is Don O'Malley with Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. Thanks for tuning in. Today we have Drums of Fu Manchu, a Republic serial from 1940. Now this is 15 chapters, so it's a long one, but a good one. In this one, Fu Manchu attempts to conquer the world by acquiring the sceptre of Genghis Khan, which will unite the people of Asia under his rule. Good luck with that one, Fu. Allan Parker, whose father was kidnapped and killed by Fu Manchu's dacoits, allies himself with Sir Denis Nayland Smith and his associate Dr. Petrie. In this one, Henry Brandon plays Fu Manchu. So here we go with the first couple chapters. We'll be back.
Burnside Avenue. Turn right to the next corner, please.
Nayland Smith!
Petrie, you're a perfect target of that light.
A dacoit knife. Then Fu Manchu is here in California?
Precisely.
But Nayland, I thought you'd run him to earth in Burma.
So did I. So did the Foreign Office. But I failed.
But I don't understand. What deviltry is he up to now?
The most stupendous crime of his career. Nothing less than the conquest of Asia and the annihilation of every man who does not bow to his will.
But this is incredible.
Oh, follow me closely, Petrie. A year ago, the Foreign Office sent me to Asia. After months in the hills, I perfected a disguise as a holy man.
I see men before me who bear upon them the marks of bullet
gun butt and bayonet. Wounds inflicted by an alien race who come upon us as benefactors, but remain as conquerors. Wounds that cry out for vengeance. Your fathers have told you, as their fathers told them, that a new leader would rise among you. You have not long to wait. It is written that the coming will be in the Holy Year, and this is the Holy Year.
And that sort of thing is going on from the Neahala Mountains to Branipur. This man Ranhar sang, to whom I listened, is but one of many. As a matter of fact, too many for safety.
It's fantastic, incredible.
Furthermore, I know that Fu Manchu is here in California. I know also that Ranhar Sang is here. Here to confer with the most sinister secret organization in the world, the Psi-Fan.
Gentlemen of the Psi-Fan. I have summoned you here because events of grave importance have come to pass. But before I discuss these matters, I want you to hear from Ranhar Sang.
Illustrious one, those things which you instructed me to do have been done. There is increasing revolt in the hills. The people await impatiently the appearance of the sceptre.
I have promised that the sacred scepter will appear during this, the Holy Year. Each day brings us closer to the tomb of the great Khan.
But I thought Sir Lionel Barton's scroll gave us full direction to the tomb.
Translation of the Barton scroll shows that it is but one of three. Until we possess them all, the location of Genghis Khan's tomb will be hidden from us.
The illustrious one know where these other scrolls exist?
Yes. The scroll I require for further instruction was brought to America in the Delhi Plak by Dr. Parker, the eminent archaeologist.
Then we may assume that this scroll, too, will come into our possession?
I move against Dr. Parker tonight.
Mr. Parker, are you certain you told me everything concerning your father's activities in Asia?
Yes, sir. I realize there isn't much to go on. But I know if any man can run down this Fu Manchu, you can.
I hope so. Petrie, do you suppose that...
Dr. Petrie's office? Oh, just a minute, please. It's for you, Mr. Parker.
Allan Parker speaking. Oh, yes, I see. Wally Winchester of the Record Herald.
This is Mr. Winchester's secretary speaking. He asked me to phone you to have you be sure and listen in on his regular 5 o'clock newscast. He says he has a scoop that will mean a lot to you.
Hey, wait a minute. Operator. Operator. She hung up.
What was the call?
From Wally Winchester's secretary. You know, the gossip columnist. She said he was going on the air at 5 o'clock with a scoop that would mean a lot to me. It must be about my father.
Well, it's a minute to 5 now.
Tune in your wireless.
Yes.
Attention, Mr. and Mrs. Reader of the Record Herald. This is Wally Winchester, your ace reporter with spot news from the hot spots of the world. Attention, members of the local police. Attention, agents of the FBI. Here are the developments in the kidnapping of Dr. James Parker. Only a few minutes before going on the air, I learned that Dr. Parker is still alive. But his life hangs in the balance because he is a prisoner in the hands of the greatest criminal of modern times, Dr. Fu Manchu. Furthermore, I know that Dr. Parker is being held a prisoner at number...
Get rid of that radio station, Petrie.
As a medical man, will you do what you can, Doctor?
Why, certainly.
Thank you. Oh, Sir Nayland, what's behind all this?
Fu Manchu is behind this, Lieutenant.
Who could possibly kill a man alone in the room?
The man died instantly, Nayland. Poison acting directly on the brain, I should say. There's not the sign of a wound.
I see. Just as I thought. See that mark on his throat?
Oh, yes, of course. Probably a bit of shaving lather.
It's what remains of one of Fu Manchu's gelatinous darts.
Gelatinous dart.
Precisely.
Do you mean a poison dart that disintegrates in a matter of minutes?
Yes. The body heat which remains after death absorbs it.
But how was it fired?
Here's the weapon. The dart was fired from this microphone. There's a fine coiled spring anchored to the diaphragm.
But what fired it?
The drums of Fu Manchu. You see, the diaphragm acted as a trigger, and the sustained rhythm of the drums tripped it.
And killed him just as he was going to reveal where my father is being held.
Exactly. But surely Winchester gave that information to someone.
I'm afraid not. The station manager said they'd be in his notes, but we can't find them.
Obviously, Fu Manchu has not killed your father outright as he did Sir Lionel Barton.
Sir Lionel Barton? Why, I knew him well. He was an associate of my father's.
What?
Yes, he and Professor Randolph accompanied us on our last expedition to Asia.
You hear that, Petrie? Where can we find Professor Randolph now?
Why, at the Randolph Mongolian Foundation, I suppose.
Lieutenant, will you provide a guard of the Foundation? We are dealing with a murderous madman whose next victim will be Professor Randolph. You and Petrie come with me.
What is it, Blake?
A perfect specimen, sir.
Who sent it?
I don't know, sir.
That's odd.
That's peculiar. I've never seen a locked mummy case before.
I'll answer, sir. Oh, how do you do, Mr. Parker?
How are you, Blake? This is Sir Nayland Smith of the British Foreign Office and Dr. Petrie. We would like to see Professor Randolph.
Certainly. Come in, please.
What is it, Blake?
Sir Nayland Smith of the British Foreign Office and a Dr. Petrie wish to see you. Mr. Allan Parker and a policeman are with them.
Hello, Allan.
How are you, Professor? This is Sir Nayland Smith
How do you do, sir?
and Dr. Petrie.
How do you do, sir?
Doctor, we've come to see you on a personal matter, sir.
Oh, Blake has been with me for 20 years. What is it, gentlemen?
It concerns your safety, Professor. And you're in as great danger as were Dr. Parker and Sir Lionel Barton.
Why, only last night, Nayland barely escaped death at the hands of a dacoit.
Dacoit? What is a dacoit, Sir Nayland?
One of Fu Manchu's men of murder. Fu Manchu, among other things, is an adept brain surgeon. By operating on the frontal lobe, he kills that part of the mind controlling the will. Thereafter, anyone so operated upon becomes his abject slave.
Horrible.
Yes. And it leaves the victim horribly disfigured. A great jagged scar across the forehead.
We must capture Professor Randolph. He is to be taken alive and brought to my illustrious father. Remove him in the mummy case in which I was brought here.
In view of what you tell me, Sir Nayland, perhaps I should... Sergeant.
A dacoit loose!
The drums of Fu Manchu.
Petrie, get the guards.
Right.
I'll get my pistol.
There's another in the watchman's desk.
Allan, look out!
A dacoit. We can get the gun this way, Sir Nayland.
Go back, Professor Randolph. I'll find Allan.
Yes, sir.
Blake! What happened?
I don't know. Professor Randolph! Professor Randolph!
Where's Randolph?
I thought he was with you. Where's the professor?
He's gone!
Gone? Fu Manchu?
I'm afraid so, Allan.
We haven't a single clue to work on.
Perhaps we have. Winchester must have made a copy of his notes.
If we can get that copy, we can find the address where my father's being held. I'll call the Record Herald.
Better still, we'll go down there. Come, Petrie.
Blake, call an ambulance.
It always moves me deeply to see two old friends meet. I trust you will remember that it was I who brought you together. Tell me, gentlemen, have you changed your decision concerning the Dalai plaque?
Why do you want the plaque?
Since we are, in a sense, brother scientists, I do not mind telling you that the Dalai plaque is one of the keys to the lost tomb of Genghis Khan.
Greater reason why we refuse to surrender it.
Then I must resort to sterner methods. Will you step this way, gentlemen? An ingenious device invented by the Emperor Lota Pai, a kindly soul and a great student of human nature. It is called the 7 Gates to Paradise. A body, let us say yours, Professor Randolph, is strapped in. The first gate is opened, and some of my small, hungry friends are permitted to join my guests. I have had guests who have successfully passed 3 of the gates, but not one has ever come through the 4th. Perhaps you will be more fortunate, Professor Randolph.
Why, you!
It's no use, Jim.
But this murdering swine...
Enough of this!
Why, you! I can't stand this.
It's all right. Allan and the others may be nearer than we think. Just another letter to a contributor. Here it is. Furthermore, I know that Dr. Parker is being held...
That's it. That's what Winchester was saying when he was killed.
Being held a prisoner at 541 Shanghai Street.
541 Shanghai Street. That's in the heart of Chinatown.
And we've no time to lose.
For the last time, Professor Randolph, I ask you to surrender the Dalai plaque. If you refuse, you enter the first gate to paradise.
I won't give it to you.
And may you be the first of my guests to pass the 4th gate.
Stop this fiendish business. I'll tell you what the Dalai plaque is.
Don't do it, Jim.
A timely decision, Dr. Parker.
Randolph's daughter Mary is bringing it here from the Smithsonian Institute.
And when does the young lady arrive?
On the Sunrise Limited in the morning. What are you going to do? Surely even you would not harm.
Dr. Parker. No harm will come to Miss Randolph.
And ourselves?
You will both remain here until the Dalai plaque is safely in my hands. Follow suite. Attend me carefully.
Yes, illustrious father.
The Dalai plaque is on its way west with Randolph's daughter. You must get it tonight.
But will they not see your hand in this?
The train upon which she rides will be destroyed after we get the plaque. An unfortunate accident. Assemble my dacoits and prepare to leave at once. There is much to do.
Captain Jim, that thing is probably deadly.
We'll see if it is. There's no escaping this place.
Well, our only hope is that Allan may locate us.
Certain this is the correct address? Yes, but I'm beginning to believe Winchester was having a reporter's dream.
There's nothing back there but an old storeroom.
This way!
Look out, Allan! The light! me!
Son,
Where's Fu Manchu?
he left here some time ago. But we've got to stop him. He's after marrying the Dalai Plaque.
Dad!
Jim, never mind me. Stop Fu Manchu. Get a plane and warn Mary.
But I can't leave you like this.
You must. Randolph will take care of me.
All right, Dad. I'll need you, Sir Nayland.
Right, Allan.
Sounded like a gunshot, Tom.
Illustrious Father, the switch is open. Both trains are on the same track. And when they meet, the Sunrise Limited will be but a thing of twisted metal. messengers, Father? The switch is open. Both trains are on the same track. And when they meet, the Sunrise Limited will be but a thing of twisted metal.
Train heading into us.
Allowed the Dalai plaque to fall into the hands of my enemy, Sir Nayland Smith.
Illustrious one!
Silence! You know the fate that awaits those who fail me.
Illustrious one!
Dalai plaque contains the second of 3 scrolls that will lead me to the tomb of Genghis Khan.
Does Sir Nayland know this?
If he finds the scroll, he will know everything.
There is still time to act. The scroll has not yet been translated.
Someone familiar with the 6th cuneiform will have to translate the scroll for Sir Nayland. If I know who that person is, before the parchment is placed in his hands, then... Look, this big guy here. Give this to him. Tell him to go to the Randolph Mongolian Foundation and...
And you say Mary is in no danger?
No, sir. Just shaken up a bit. And fortunately for us, Fu Manchu did not get the Dalai plaque. What does Fu Manchu want with it anyway?
Just before one of his dacoits killed your father, Fu Manchu told us it was one of the keys to the lost tomb of Genghis Khan.
In some way, the plaque concerns his plan to gain control of a vast and immensely rich section of Central Asia. It must have about it some information we haven't as yet discovered.
Unquestionably related to the sacred sceptre of the great Khan.
Precisely. Genghis Khan's scepter was in tune with him. And without it, Fu Manchu cannot fulfill the prophecy of the Holy Year.
Dr. Parker made a translation. While I don't recall the exact wording, I can assure you it was nothing unusual.
I see. However, I think a strict investigation should be made.
Will you carry on, Professor? In general, to what do the hieroglyphics refer?
To the reign of Genghis Khan, or to be more exact, to his death.
Manchu must have sent him after that plaque.
Precisely. Let's take him upstairs.
If we could locate Dr. Parker's notes on his translation, they no doubt would help us solve our problem, but I just...
Say, I wonder if there's any chance it might contain a secret compartment.
Well, if so, it's extremely well concealed.
The eye is loose. It looks like an old manuscript.
It's a papyrus. Can you translate it, Professor?
No, it's beyond me, but I know someone who can. Me Madison 1121. Dr. Humphrey, please.
Good morning, Professor. What may I do for you?
I have a 3rd Dynasty Mongolian papyrus I'd like you to decipher.
I'll be glad to translate it for you. Bring it over this afternoon.
Thank you, Doctor. About 2.
Who is Dr. Humphrey?
He's the curator of the Mongolian Division of the International Geographic Society.
Dr. Humphrey, curator of the Mongolian Division of the International Geographic Society. For Dr. Humphrey.
Do you have any curios of the same dynasty?
Yes, several. Would you like to see one?
If I may.
It was taken from a temple in Tibet last year.
Exquisite. An important piece?
No, one of the lesser idols, but perfect in every detail. A friend of mine, a friend.
Quiet. Relax. Listen carefully. You have inhaled the incense of obedience. Fu Manchu is your master. You will obey him without question.
Fu Manchu is my master. I will obey him without question.
In a little while, Professor Randolph will bring you a papyrus to translate. You will take it to Fu Manchu. In the parking lot, there is a car with an Oriental driver. Use it. Answer it. Remember.
Oh, Dr. Humphrey.
Good afternoon, Professor. Allan, come in. Sit down.
We believe this refers to the lost tomb of Genghis Khan.
How long will it take you to translate it?
The lost tomb of Genghis Khan? The goal of every archaeologist in the world.
Doctor, how long will it take you to translate it?
Not long. I'll need a cryptograph frequency tabulator. Excuse me.
Must be sort of a place. What is it? What do you call it? A cryptograph frequency tabulator? What is it?
Just a large blackboard for the registration of the frequency of letters.
I'll help him carry it in. door's locked.
You must be mistaken.
Something's wrong.
Dr. Humphrey and I will be engaged for a time. See that we're not disturbed.
Humphrey's at 406 Clay Street. A dacoit brought him there.
Dacoit?
Yes, you better hurry. 406 Clay Street. I think we found Fu Manchu.
We'll be there directly.
Don't move. I'll take that. Stay where you are. I should kill you, but in this country we believe in letting the law take its course.
The law you mentioned, Mr. Parker, clearly indicates that a man is held innocent until proven guilty.
Sir Nayland Smith alone has enough evidence to hang you. Stand up. I'll take that. Stay where you are. I should kill you, but in this country, we believe in letting the law take its course. Stand up.
Sir Nayland Smith, he is here.
This way.
No chance of getting through from this side. Come on. Look here, what's this? It's water. Must be a control switch somewhere close by. This must be it. Stand back. Allan! Nasty spot for you, Allan.
Yes, and if it wasn't for you, I'd probably still be in there.
Did you get the Delhi scroll?
This is one time we got the better of Fu Manchu.
Humphrey!
Are you all right?
Yes, just a trifle dizzy, though.
Allan, get a chair.
I can't understand it. Humphrey attacked me, and I had to knock him out to save myself.
He's probably under the influence of a hypnotic drug and completely under Fu Manchu's control.
In the 45th year of the dynasty Chang, I, Gai Khan, am prepared to join my illustrious ancestor, the mighty Genghis Khan. My pardon me.
This must be one of the scrolls telling of the location of the lost tomb of Genghis Khan.
It is. Without it, Fu Manchu cannot possibly find the sacred scepter buried with the great Khan.
Attend me, Humphrey. Attend me carefully. Fu Manchu is your master.
The drums. The drums. They're saying things. Don't you hear them?
He's still feeling the effects of the drug. It'll soon pass.
Attend me carefully, Humphrey. The 6th
cuneiform key at the Mongolian Foundation. You must have it. Send Mary and no one else.
The 6th cuneiform key at the Mongolian Foundation. Mary, you know where it is filed. Will you get it for me?
I'd be glad to, Dr. Humphrey.
I'll see you to the door, Mary.
Goodbye. I'll be back shortly.
Oh, Mary. I think I better go with you.
Swell.
There are more paths than one to the door of an enemy. And now the first step along a new path is taken.
The light switch is by the other door. This place gives me the chills. I'm always expecting one of those mummies to start walking around.
What is it?
Over there.
There goes your prowling mummy. This isn't just another trick of Fu Manchu's, is it?
One never knows. But this can be said for Fu Manchu. He will keep his word. Someone's coming this way. Steady, son. Youth is ever impetuous.
But youth serves me well. I am able to make this call upon you without fear of reprisals because the young and charming Miss Randolph is now in my custody. I am certain the safety of your daughter is as precious to you as the manuscript you possess is precious to me.
And the safety of my daughter is the price of the Dalai Scroll?
A distasteful bargain, even for you, Fu Manchu. May I have a word with my friends?
We're dealing with more than individuals, Sir Nayland. I'd give my life for my daughter, and I know that Mary would do anything.
That's the finest thing I've ever heard. But it isn't necessary to sacrifice Mary's life. Let Fu Manchu do the dictating. We can still save that Allied scroll.
As you say, Sir Nayland.
We are ready, Fu Manchu. We accept your bargain on this condition. You will deliver Mary into the hands of Allan Parker, at which time he will turn the Delhi scroll over to you. We, of course, exact your word that they will be unmolested.
Cleverly spoken, Sir Nayland. If Mr. Parker will accompany me, I shall be glad to complete the transaction.
Is that all right with you, Allan?
Certainly.
Thank you, gentlemen, for a very pleasant interview.
Please. Where's Mary?
Miss Randolph is here. Quite safe. Take off. You have nothing to fear. This is merely a precaution in case anyone followed us.
Help!
Your friend seems to be getting a little impatient. And now, Mr. Parker, the manuscript.
Where are you taking us now that we've kept our promise?
I am not taking you anywhere. You and Miss Parker are leaving now. It will be quite safe once you put these on. Master! Master! I shall see what it is. Take off that parachute.
What for?
If you don't mind, Mr. Parker, will you take over the controls? Very clever, Miss Randolph, but badly timed. Now you will both have the experience you so kindly prepared for me. Contact my daughter. Three KRD, calling 3 FLS. Calling 3 FLS. Come in, please.
3 FLS answering. Go ahead, 3KRD.
I have the manuscript, but circumstances forced me to leave the plane by parachute. I shall land in Rocky Pass. Meet me there. May I remind you that among my people, honor is a sacred thing, and those who defile it can expect no mercy. Happy landings.
Mary, see if there are more parachutes.
There are none, Allan.
Fu Manchu wins this time. You can't land within 50 miles of here.
It's all my fault. I knew about Fu Manchu's plan and broke the gas line, thinking he'd be trapped after we left.
one chance. If I can clear the top of that mountain, we might be able to glide to a landing on the other side.
Take off that parachute.
What for?
If you don't mind, Mr. Parker, will you take over the controls? Very clever, Miss Randolph, but badly timed. Now you will both have the experience you so kindly prepared for me. May I remind you that among my people, honor is a sacred thing, and those who defile it can expect no mercy. Happy landings.
Fu Manchu wins this time. We can't land within 50 miles of here. We've got one chance. If I can clear the top of that mountain, we might be able to glide to a landing on the other side.
We're gonna crash!
Mary! Mary!
Did you get the Dalai scroll?
Yes, there was no difficulty in spite of the last-minute change in our plans. Have you notified the members of the Saipan Council to assemble?
They're waiting for you at the temple.
Gentlemen of the Saipan. You will be gratified to learn that I have secured the Dalai scroll, second link to the chain that will lead us to the location of Genghis Khan's tomb and the sacred scepter.
The tribesmen are ripe for revolt now, but unless we can bring them the scepter...
Within a few weeks, I shall be in possession of the scepter, and I shall lead the tribesmen in a revolt that will sweep every white enemy from the continent of Asia. The manuscript I have just obtained indicates another scroll, third link in the chain that will lead us to the location of the lost tomb. I plan to secure this scroll at once.
I realize we're both fortunate to be alive, but I still feel responsible for the loss of the scroll.
Well, don't be too downhearted. We haven't really lost it.
What do you mean?
We took the precaution of having a photostatic copy made of it before you gave it to Fu Manchu.
You did? Where is it?
We finally got Professor Humphrey to translate it for us. Randolph has the copy.
Sir Nayland. that the utmost caution was exercised in safeguarding the tomb of Genghis Khan.
You mean this has been a wild goose chase?
Well, not at all. Now, this manuscript does give us a clue to the document that will lead us to the tomb. A document that was hidden away in the tomb of Kelba Khan.
Why, all the documents from Kelba Khan's tomb were brought to this country.
That is correct. They're in the possession of Dr. Chang, an Oriental importer in this city. Now, the paper you want is undoubtedly there, and you should have no trouble in getting a copy of it.
Well, neither will Fu Manchu.
Oh, yes, Sir Nayland. I have the entire Kelba Khan collection.
We've just found out that one of those papers is extremely important, and that Fu Manchu may attempt to get it from you. Please take every precaution to protect it. We'll be down as quickly as possible.
Very good, Sir Nayland. Goodbye.
I see we arrived just in time, Dr. Cheng. Please get me that Kelba Khan document at once.
Your fame precedes you, Dr. Fu Manchu. I have promised the document to someone else.
You forced me into a most distasteful act. Tie him up. Quite an ingenious device, don't you think, Dr. Cheng? As you can see, your life is literally hanging by a thread. Loci, though usually most reliable when handling a knife, is not infallible. He might strike the wrong chord. And now, dear Dr. Cheng, kindly oblige me by telling me where this document is. You are very stubborn, my dear doctor. This is your final demonstration, Dr. Cheng. Are you still not convinced that I will stop at nothing to get that document? Have you changed your mind, Dr. Cheng?
Look out!
Fu Manchu must be up there. Probably meant for us.
Dr. Chang! He's getting away!
It's too late to stop him now. Let's take care of Dr. Chang. May we see the document now, Dr. Chang?
Certainly. But it won't be necessary. I am thoroughly familiar with its contents.
Splendid.
What did it say?
It refers to an inscription in the Temple of the Blind Dragon, which can only be translated with the addition of the Kardak segment. The Kardak segment was taken from the temple and brought to this country. It is now in the possession of Mr. Ezra Howard at his country estate in Sonoma.
I'll call Mr. Howard at once.
I'm afraid that is impossible. Mr. Howard is very eccentric. He lives like a hermit on that estate and allows no phone.
We can still drive up there.
Right.
Fu Manchu.
We'll contact you later, Dr. Chang.
There they are. They must have gone in up there.
One of these may fit the lock. I'll go around the back. There should be a fire escape or a rear entrance. Right. Be careful, Allan.
Turn around.
This is indeed a surprise, Mr. Parker. I welcome your arrival, Mr. Parker. You see, the dacoit died before he could give me any information. Now you can tell me what was in the Genghis Khan manuscript.
Dr. Chang gave you my answer.
His answer would have been otherwise had you not arrived when you did. I am certain you will not be so fortunate. I have a number of Oriental devices for extracting information from stubborn witnesses. But I'm honoring you by the use of an arrangement invented by one of your own countrymen. You're undoubtedly familiar with the admirable writings of Edgar Allan Poe, so you will have no difficulty in recognizing this device, described in his short story, The Pit and the Pendulum. When you see how effectively this machine works, you will, I trust, be persuaded to give me the information I require. Information I require of you is such a small matter, and the price to you so great. I am certain you will see the wisdom of changing your decision. information I require of you is such a small matter, and the price to you so great. I am certain you will see the wisdom of changing your decision.
Release that man. Hurry! Take this car. Stop at Randolph so we can tell them what we learned from Dr. Chang.
Right. We'll turn the dacoit over to the police on the way to Howard's.
Then the final clue to the lost tomb of Genghis Khan is on the altar stone in Mr. Howard's collection?
Yes, my dear. And I can assure you that Dr. Chang didn't exaggerate when he said Howard is eccentric. I've had some dealings with him.
Eccentric or not, we've got to get the Kardak stone before Fu Manchu learns about it.
Dalla Ro, calling illustrious one. Dalla Ro, calling illustrious one.
This is your master, Fu Manchu. Speak, where are you?
Am held prisoner in your car by white men.
No harm shall come to you because of your faithfulness. Keep this radio open.
Yes, illustrious one.
Sir Nayland Smith himself may tell me the secret of the Kelba Khan scroll.
Perhaps we should call in the police.
That might only serve to irritate Mr. Howard. But I'm sure he will cooperate when he finds out how serious the situation is.
I agree with Sir Nayland. Of course, we'll have to turn over our dacoit prison to the police. But we don't have to mention the Kardak segment.
Right.
See you later, Mary.
It's very fortunate that we discovered the location of the altar stone before Fu Manchu. If the sacred sceptre of Genghis Khan ever falls into his hands, he will have unbelievable power over the natives of Asia.
He must be mad to believe he can make himself dictator of so vast an empire.
Not as mad as you think. He knows the legend of the Holy Year, and that the natives are expecting the coming of a Messiah. If he gets the scepter, he will be that Messiah.
we can't afford to underestimate his strength. He won't be fooled easily.
I believe we fooled him this time. Oh, by the way, after you've delivered this dacoit to the police, carry on to the Historical Museum and pick up the altar stone. I'll meet you at Randolph later.
When Fu Manchu learns this segment has been at the museum all this while, he'll be furious. Especially when he discovers we've beaten him to it.
Have Loci summon the dacoits.
I've arranged everything, Allan, everything. Just as you suggested when you telephoned from the police station.
I knew you would, Professor Anderson. Are you ready, Lieutenant?
Ready, willing, and able, Mr. Parker.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Come with me. It's in my office.
You go out and keep the boys out of sight. I'll stay here with Tommy. If nothing happens, we trail Parker, understand?
Extraordinary. Quite. It's never happened before.
Feels like it might be a brick.
That's exactly what it is. And now, Allan, do you mind explaining this mystery?
Not at all, Professor Anderson. We have reason to believe that we've tricked Fu Manchu. Why, he chases me, thinking I have the Kardak segment. Smith is on his way to Ezra Howard's country estate to get the genuine Alderstone.
Very clever, this young American, but not sufficiently clever.
And you expect Fu Manchu or his men to attack you as you leave?
Yes, that's why the police are here.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
What is it?
The drums of Fu Manchu. Thanks a lot, Lieutenant. Take him down to headquarters, and I'll be down to help grill him later.
Allan. There were 5 dacoits, Allan.
How do you know?
I just found the missing wax statues, 5 of them in a closet. Of course, minus their costumes, which the dacoits wore. And one of them belongs in my office.
Your office? It was a dacoit, all right. He went out that window. He won't lose any time in telling Fu Manchu about Howard.
You can use the phone.
No use. Howard refuses to have a phone installed. I've got to get to Smith.
realize that your problems are no concern of mine, you will have to be content with an examination of the cardiac segment here. Under no circumstances will I permit it to leave my possession.
There's no doubt about it. It is the cardiac segment. If Fu Manchu discovers you own this...
Fu Manchu means nothing to me.
I sincerely hope he never does. As for the segment...
Well, please complete your examination so Cardo may return it to my safe.
Is there no way I can convince you, Mr. Howard? To you, this is just another curio. But to the tribes of Asia, it unquestionably means the difference between a disastrous war and peace.
Perhaps a drink will help your disposition.
Thank you.
Cardo, mix one of my special drinks for Sir Nayland. Let's make ourselves comfortable. Your warning amuses me, but I don't fear the Fu Manchus of this world. My house has been built especially to thwart them.
But if Fu Manchu knew you had the segment, this is precisely the sort of night he would select to move against it.
My grounds, Sir Nayland, are patrolled by a pack of these animals. Diablo here is the only tame one. As for the others, well, Fu Manchu is welcome to attempt an entrance.
Fu Manchu has survived worse dangers. The disposition of the cardiac segment does not concern me personally. I'm asking you to lend it in the name of the English Commonwealth of Nations and for the peace of Central Asia. Now let me explain.
An interesting explanation, Sir Nayland. You know, nights like this exhilarate me.
I am too vividly reminded of similar nights, Mr. Howard. Nights through which Fu Manchu stalked men like you and me.
Decision. You may take the cardiac segment.
I'll feel much better when this is in a vault.
Seems to me I hear drums.
The drums of Fu Manchu. His death signal. We're in for it.
decision. You may take the Kardec segment.
The drums of Fu Manchu. His death signal.
Colonel!
We're in for it.
Segment! They've got it!
Get the Kardec segment.
Allan! Allan! Over here! We can compare notes later. Fu Manchu got away with the Kardec segment. But look here. What is it? A perfect imprint of the Kardec segment. The key to Genghis Khan's tomb. Here, hold these. What are you going to do? I'm going to get some plaster Paris and make a mirage of it.
This is the key to the lost tomb of Genghis Khan.
You mean it definitely locates the tomb?
No, not exactly, Dr. Petrie. You see, the inscription here is not complete. Now, the segment is only part of a message that is inscribed on a temple altar somewhere in Central Asia.
Then this must be inserted in the altar before the whole message can be read.
That is right, Sir Nayland.
And Fu Manchu has the original. He's probably on his way to Asia with it right now.
Right, Allan. But he hasn't had time to leave the country yet. And we can block that. Police headquarters, please. Hello, police headquarters. This is Sir Nayland Smith of the British Foreign Office. I want to spread a dragnet to stop Fu Manchu. Dr. Petrie, will you take the harbor squad?
Right.
Professor Randolph, will you take the Union Railroad station?
Certainly.
And I will work with Captain Bevins of the State Highway Patrol.
What may I do, Sir Nayland?
Allan, I'm afraid yours is the most difficult part. You're a pilot. You know airfield routine. Will you take Central Airport?
Yes, sir, I will.
Illustrious father, this is your daughter. It is impossible to charter a plane. The men of the FBI are checking every movement.
Sir Nayland has worked rapidly. Are you certain it is Allan Parker?
Yes, illustrious one. He passed within a few feet of me, but fortunately I was not recognized.
Listen carefully, fellow Swede. It is important
that he see you.
Yes, Father. I understand.
Welcome to my humble abode, Mr. Parker. Permit me to present Professor Kranz, the eminent plastic artist.
What do you want with me?
Just a slight favor, Mr. Parker. Your friend, Sir Nayland Smith, has made it necessary for me to, shall I say, borrow your face for a while. I am there. Is the light satisfactory, Professor?
Perfectly. And an excellent subject. Features definite, racial lines not too pronounced. I shall not be long, Fu Manchu. There, it is done.
A perfect likeness, Professor Kranz. Your fame is justified.
Now, if you will lie here, Fu Manchu. You may get up now. I should like to see if you can speak with comfort, Fu Manchu.
With the utmost comfort, Professor Kranz. My dear Parker, I'm sure I would be accepted even by Sir Nayland Smith. Now.
You'll never get away with it.
Take off his clothes. Thank you, Professor. My daughter, Barlow Swee, will send you your fee.
Good day, Doctor.
Not the perfect fit to which I'm accustomed, but it will serve admirably. I'm forced to this action, Parker, because you might escape from here and tell of my deception. That would be awkward. Furthermore, I might be interfered with. If so, you will make an excellent hostage.
Nothing short of death will keep me from tracking you down, Fu Manchu.
Ah, you speak glibly of death. I trust you will meet it with equal ease.
Then you are going to kill me.
There's the remote possibility that you may live. If Sir Nayland Smith captures me, I shall use your life as an exchange for my liberty. If not, you will die at exactly 3:30, when I'm safe across the border on my way to the audience. The object you see attached to the telephone box is a device containing an explosive known for its shattering effect. It will be fired when the telephone bell rings.
I hope it rings now.
Impossible. Only 2 people, my daughter and myself, know the number. That telephone will ring when I want it to.
Here, boy.
Allan!
Never mind.
Where on earth have you been? Sir Nayland has all the field officials looking for you.
No cause to worry about me. I've been very busy. Here, take this to Sir Nayland at once.
But Allan...
No questions now. It's important. And hurry.
I can't understand it. Allan should have reported an hour ago.
It's from Allan. I saw him at the airport. He says it's important.
Call Gladstone 4453 at 3:30. Do not fail me. Allan. Wait a moment. It isn't 3:30, and this is not Allan's handwriting.
What does it all mean?
I don't know, Petrie, but we'll soon find out. Hello, operator. This is Sir Nayland Smith of British Foreign Office, and this is an official call. I would like to get the name and address of your subscriber, who has telephone number Gladstone 4453. Thank you. It's a private phone listed to the Oriental Importing Company, 940 Ferguson Street.
That's funny.
I think funny's a poor choice of words, Petrie. Come, we best hurry.
Where to?
940 Ferguson Street. We still have half an hour. Is in the next block. We'll give the police a chance to surround the place, then move in. We'll locate a telephone, and at exactly 3:30, I want you to call that number and hold whoever answers in conversation. I'd call myself, but if it is Fu Manchu's place, he might recognize my voice.
All right, Sir Nayland.
We must be across the border now. I can put in my call.
Yes?
I wish to make a phone call.
Certainly.
Central Airport for a plane to land connection. Get me Gladstone 4453. The line is busy.
Never mind.
Well, Warner Owen.
Hello, Jack.
How are you, Warner?
I'm fine.
Say, tell me, are you going to do anything in this review?
Oh, yes. A mystery play written especially for me, around my character, Dr. Fu Manchu.
Written especially for you?
Yes.
I bet it's good.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think
Clive
so.
Brooks. How are you, Clive?
Mr. Oak.
Hey, I thought you were over in Europe.
No, I had to postpone my trip. I had to do an item for the review.
So, what are you going to do, sing?
No, a mystery play written especially around my character of Sherlock Holmes.
Mystery play?
Yeah.
Written especially for you?
Yes, especially for me.
But it's interesting.
Come along and see it.
I will.
Might flash up for the moment.
Well, Bill Powell. How are you, Bill? Oh, no, Jackie. Glad to see you. Say, he's going to do a song and dance in this review. Is that so? No, Jackie, I'm going to do a mystery play. Written especially for me around my character of Philo Vance, you know? Especially written for you, around your character. So, well, I want to look for it. G. Paulette. How are you, G?
Hello, Johnny.
Yeah,
Hi.
I'm glad to see you.
Good day.
Say, he was doing a couple of impersonations in this Paramount on Parade.
No, John, I'd like to, but I've got to do a mystery play written especially for me around my character of Sergeant Heath.
Oh, mystery play.
Yeah.
Written especially for you.
Yeah.
That sounds very original.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Jack, just help yourself to this spinach. I won't be needing it.
Oh, no thanks, Gene. I have to run away. I have to go and take my Victrola lessons.
I heard you were out for a record.
Yeah. That's very funny. He's trying to needle me.
Studio ingenue, Jack Oakey.
Come in. Greetings to you, Honorable Sergeant Heath.
Well, Fu Manchu, old boy, I hurried over just as soon as I got your phone call. You know, it's darn nice of you to phone me whenever you kill a guy. Well, why did you have to kill him?
God to my ancestors. He doubted that I was a murderer, so I killed the disbeliever.
Fair enough. And you certainly did a nice job. Well, everything's cut and dried. Pardon me, Doctor.
It's a pleasure.
Now I have the nicest new patrol wagon downstairs, and you and me are going for a nice little ride.
Good.
Why, hello, Mr. Van.
Sergeant? I hope I don't intrude.
Oh, certainly not. Certainly not. Pardon me. Dr. Fu Manchu, Mr. Philo Vance.
My dear doctor.
The Honorable Mr. Philo Vance.
Now, Sergeant, if I may ask, how do you know that Dr. Fu committed this murder?
Well, it's more or less a hunch. You see, the dead man here was stabbed and shot. And when I came in, Dr. Fu Manchu had a knife and a gun in his hand. Now, he admitted the crime. And, well, some way or another, I just kind of thought maybe he did do it.
Well, very good, Sergeant, very good. But aren't you just a trifle premature? For instance, you haven't even once mentioned the word psychology.
Oh, have I got to go through all that again?
One moment. I want my rights. Am I to be arrested, or am I not?
You know, he's a pretty important man in his line.
But you can't expect me to admit that Dr. Fu committed this murder until I have eliminated all the other suspects.
When Fu Manchu is pleased to commit a murder, there are no other suspects.
There must be other suspects. There are always other suspects. If necessary, I shall make other suspects.
Watson, there's a murdered man in this room. Amazing. How did you come to that conclusion, Mr. Holmes?
My dear Watson, there are 4 men in this room, one of whom does not move. He is obviously not asleep, since if he were asleep, there would be riveters at work next door, which there are not. As he is not asleep, he is obviously murdered.
Marvelous. Marvelous.
Elementary, my dear Watson, elementary. My name is Holmes, Sherlock.
Vance, Philo.
If you'll pardon me, I'll take Dr. Fu Manchu down to headquarters and have him booked for murder.
Oh, that's preposterous, Sergeant. Why, we haven't even yet discovered whether the pearls are missing or not.
What pearls?
What pearls? The pearls.
White devils. Am I to be arrested, or am I not?
Certainly not. Don't be absurd.
Will you be good enough to unlock these handcuffs?
What? Certainly, Doctor. Darn clever, you Chinese. I'm sorry I didn't think of it myself. Just candy, Fu.
I had to do it. It was the only way I could convince them that I am a murderer.
Right.
Yeah. Excuse me. Good night, Sergeant.
Who killed that man?
It's a mystery play, written especially for me.
Back already? This is Don O'Malley with Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. That was the first couple chapters of Drums of Fu Manchu. So join us next week for more chapters. And yes, everything behind me is autographed. That's George Reeves and the rest of the Superman. I've been collecting for over 35 years. Yep, I'm that old. So join us next week, and if you can, go to YouTube under Donald O'Malley or Don's Breakfast Cereal Show and hit like and subscribe, and you'll never miss one of my shows. So thanks again. Good night. Stay safe. Be kind to each other, and hopefully we'll see you next time.